Welcome back, everybody. My name is Dragagon, and this is Gregtech New Horizons. So you can see I finally expanded the rest of my storage area. I decided that I wanted to grab the compressed chest that I had here that was filled with the loot bag loot. Got most of it put away. Some of it I just didn't care about anymore, so I just chucked it over the edge and down to the ground down there. May regret that later, but probably not. It was, you know, potions and Steve's carts things and not a whole lot of useful stuff. In the meantime, I got my rocket loaded up, so it should be ready to go. I do need to grab my battery, though, before I go. Bees are still doing the bee things. I haven't gained any more pollen, which is rather frustrating. I'm down to less than a stack to go before I can make use of all that material in order to make my first alveary. But in any case, I figured I should at least, you know what, I might want to make a little bit of meteoric steel and repair these bolts. I used up a few of them, and because I used them up, it might behoove me to make some more. So I'm going to step away, make up 4 of the meteoric steel, repair up my bolts. That way I've got some extra sitting around, and then I'm going to go ahead and load up in the rocket, and then I will blast off for Phobos, and then I will start doing my digging around thing, looking for those materials that I need for the next phase of stuff. I was looking at what I need to do next for some of the Thaumcraft stuff, trying to get my way towards this guy so that I can get towards the Carmenite and start looking at some more of the wand stuff. I would really like to get, however I have to, over to the Void stuff in order to go start looking at that pure tier, so that I can get all of that junk, all the stinky warp and stuff off of me. That would be extremely nice. In the meantime, though, I'm definitely going to be going after the pitch blend, which will unlock the GT++ alloy smelter. It actually makes stuff into liquids, but that I will need if I want to go after any more of the GT++ machines. It'll also unlock this guy. Not too worried about that. The tungsten steel, of course, and then it should also give me the uranium and stuff to start looking at radon decay, getting the quantum eye, and then I can focus on getting the epichlorohydrin, the bisphenol, get the epoxid, and look at those circuits up there. And one of those two, or maybe both of them, should unlock the IV section. And then hopefully from there we can keep making some more progress. So I'm going to get this stuff done. I will see you guys on the surface of Phobos. All right, I am back, and as you can see, I am here on Phobos. I've gone ahead and I dug quite a few spots all around the map. If I pull up the mini-map, that one I couldn't tell if it was arsenic or not. That one I couldn't tell if it was this magnetite that just reached extra far or not. So I don't have either of those 2 spots marked. However, right here I have draconium, and I've got my miner set up right there. I found a molybdenum ore spot there, which was fantastic. I also have several oroharican spots. And you're just an Enderman. I don't care about you. Let's see here. If I look, I found a uranium spot. This cinnabar, the cinnabar that appears on Mars, has a very interesting ore with it that is part of the Bartworks. But yeah, lots of oroharican, but the main ones that I went looking for were pitch blend, which I found just before I came up here, the draconium. This was just a lucky find. I can always use one of those. Those things have like a 5% chance, less than that. It's a weighted 5 across all of these things added up. So that was nice to get. And then, so draconium, pitchblende, or hurricane, and uranium were the big ones that I was looking for. I will probably also do a cinnabar and maybe this bauxite as well, or maybe just stick it between them and get both of them so that I get some of these ores and some more of the ilmenite out of this bauxite. So yeah, I'm just going to be doing a lot of work waiting on that. If I go ahead and, where is it? That's that one. Draconium, that's all the way over here. So let's go ahead and jump. Oh, there it is. That draconium, not that draconium. And so here we go. Yeah, quite a few ores already built up, but nothing that is what is actually under this one. It's only that magnetite straight ahead there. So yeah, I'm going to keep on going with this. That one had a little bit of kickback. I'm going to keep going with this, and I will, like I say, this is boring, so I'm going to get all of these spots mined up. Probably fill up this entire thing, and then actually I'll probably go looking for what are they called now? I'll probably go looking for a dungeon. No, this planet doesn't have a dungeon. So yeah, I'm going to be doing nothing but standing around waiting for the miners to finish dredging up all the ore that I need. So I'm not going to bore you guys with all of that kind of stuff. Maybe once in a while I might poke my head in just so that you guys can see what kind of a mix of stuff we've been getting along the way. But for me, the important stuff, titanium, lots of desh. I don't care as much about the desh because there is a ton of that. But like, yeah, the palladium metallic powder, the platinum metallic powder, there's probably some of the crushed rhodium. So all of those kind of things will be nice to have for the future. I may actually end up just chucking out this unrefined desh. I mean, you can use it, you can grind it into desh, you can quadruple it with space flour. But really between those two things, there's not a whole lot of use for it. And since I already have an entire vein of it mined up, there's not a whole lot of use for it for me. So anyway, I will leave you guys be, and we'll see you after a while. Well, I spent most of the day doing nothing but mining. I went ahead and mined up this draconium vein, this molybdenum vein, this pitchblende vein, and then I am just about done with this uranium vein. It's finally gotten all the ore up out of it, and it's just pulling up all the small ore and stuff before it pulls up the mining pipe. But as you can see, it is quite the haul of ore, anything ranging from arsenic and antimony to the molybdenum, bismuth, the uranium that's here in this vein, all kinds of stuff. The thing I'm happiest about really though is the uranium and the pure titanium. I can't wait to get that back to base and start processing it. I am probably going to make another trip up here so that I can hit this Oru Hurricane. And then I was thinking about doing one and just covering both of these guys in one go, just plant something right here in the middle here and get 2/3 of each of these. And that should give me a fair amount of the bauxite for more of the ilmenite, and then the cinnabar for some of those Bart ores, the Bartworks ores. But that will have to be on another trip because, as you can see, I am nearly full, and I don't want to accidentally disconnect or have something happen while this is in my inventory while I'm standing around on the surface of another planet waiting. I'd rather take this all home, get it plugged into my inventory system, and then make another trip back. I've got plenty of diesel fuel. I mean, I've got a super tank, 4 million millibuckets worth, so 4,000 diesel is more than enough to get me back here yet again. So I'm going to wait and let this thing finish, and then I am going to, like I say, take all this back to base, maybe start some of the processing. You can see up here with the bookmarks that I have some ideas on what I want to build. Namely, I would like to get a nuke up and running, and then one of the quests that I need to do, I actually have to go back to Mars itself and get a stack of pitchblende and a quarter of a stack of the uraninite, just to finish off that quest, which will then unlock that that alloy smelter that I have bookmarked right up here. So yeah, nuclear reactor, work on getting the fuel, the uranium-238 and uranium-235. Those come from this uranium here, as well as this uraninite. A lot of the uranium-235 comes from the sub-processing of this stuff. Stick it in a centrifuge, the thermal centrifuge or the ore washer, and be able to do that. So yeah, that is my plans. I don't think this video has been very long, so we'll see what happens. I'm probably going to do these other tasks off camera. It's really rather boring just watching a miner all day long dig up ore. I did put myself into a hole this time, so as you can hear, the spiders are out there. I don't have to worry about fending off stuff, and I can, not really AFK, but I can do stuff like watch anime while I'm waiting for the miner and check back every few minutes just to make sure that my oxygen hasn't depleted. So I will catch you guys after I have finished up all the mining that I want to do, and we'll start taking a look at the next steps, which I believe is going to be building a nuke. So see you in a while. Well, I made it back, and I did not head back to Phobos or to Mars yet. Just been sitting here. I was focused on making dense lead plates, dense titanium plates, some advanced alloy, and if you guys know what that means I am building a nuke. There is my nuclear reactor. You can see all the parts necessary to make this first nuclear reactor. I've got the 4 empty fuel rods right there, and there we go. That should complete that quest. And then next, we've got it wants us to make 6 reactor chambers, so that's fairly easy. I've already got the basic machine casings here. There are the 6 advanced machine casings. I didn't want to just put this stuff together because I wasn't sure what the next quest was wanting me to do. So I basically was holding on to that just to make sure that I didn't build it too soon. So let's see here. 1, 2, other 6, 1, 2, other 6, and then 1, 2, other 6 there, like so. I'm going to need 18, whoops, one too many gone. 18 of those there like that. And then there are those. I'm just going to need the other 6, and that is going to take some time. I've been using the small titanium dusts, and those things take 90 seconds in an EBF running EV power. So I was slowly letting it build up over time, putting it in the vacuum freezer, and while I worked on all the lead, as well as doing stuff like, you know, getting all of this mixed metal ingots to make the advanced alloys, because I do have a setup in mind that it doesn't cost a whole lot of parts. It costs more than if you were just playing regular IC2, but at least in terms of materials here, it's pretty cheap. I'm going to just put those back there like that. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. There we go. So once I get the rest of those plates done, along with those 2 ingots there, I can finish out this reactor casing, and that will make sure that I've got a nuclear reactor. In the meantime, I have been crushing some of the uranium ore. One thing I wanted to try out, and I was waiting for the plant to grow in order to do this. So up here, I had a Reactoria. I have 3 of them actually in that filing cabinet right there. This one, you can see he's now at 3 out of 4 growth. So I was going to see if I can get it to work with the uranium ore itself. One of those. Let me grab one of these 2 and we'll see if the ores will cause it to grow. Let's see. It is 1, 2, 3 diagonal from that. So 1, 2, 3 there. And I'm hoping that this guy will say he can grow. And it can. Excellent. That is fantastic. That means I can use the ore to build up a set of the plants, and then once I quadruple the various plants, I can just take those things and replace the ores so that I can get the materials out of it. So yeah, excellent, excellent stuff. I'm going to continue to plug away at this. I will bring you guys back in probably once I have these 6 pieces here done. Let's see here. What else does it want me to do? It also wants fused quartz or warded glass. Fused quartz, relatively cheap, can be converted into a variant that glows. Okay. Oh, make a stack and it'll give you a stack. Not bad. All right. And then it wants you to make one of each of the vents. I'm not sure I'm going to do that. Maybe as I make them, it'll let it do that. I don't think I'm working on the advanced heat vent. I do know I do have the component heat vent and at least one overclocked heat vent, which will require making these other 2. So this advanced heat vent might be the only thing that I don't end up making for that small quest. Heat exchanger, only making the component heat exchanger. Those other ones will probably have to wait a while. And then looking at making the various tiers of fuel rods. Fusion reactor, Americium. Right now I am just making power. I am going for a quad rod power setup. So this one will probably get done as I get these rods all set up and ready to go, simply because it can give me just over, just over 2 amps of EV power, which will get me really close to the IV power, and IV power is what I'm going to be looking at soon, because getting past the tungsten steel and into HSSG is going to require IV power, and a few other things are going to need that same IV power. So I am going to step away. I'm going to continue to work on my material list, and I will see you guys back here after a while. And we're back one last time. So my titanium finally finished, got it compressed down to triple plates, and then compressed those down to the dense plates. So there are our 6 reactor chambers. I also went ahead and used the EBF to make up some fused quartz. Yes, I could do it in an alloy smelter, but I was being lazy. I don't want to build an alloy smelter right just yet, the Ender IO version, in order to make fused quartz. So I just took 2 stacks of nether quartz dust and a stack of glass dust and just used the EBF to deal with that. So there we go. Both of those quests are now complete. The last thing here is monitoring your reactor. Use a sensor kit on the block you want to monitor, sensor card in the display. Yeah, same thing as you would do previously. Let's go ahead and just claim that. And then that's just a loot bag and maybe a coin or 2. Claim the 64 enlightened fused quartz. And then the thermal monitor. Alright, so that gets us those things knocked out. 1 loot bag. Yeah, a few coins. And then also the information panel thing so that we could keep informed of our nuke. I haven't decided where I want that to go yet. My guess is it will probably be somewhere I wouldn't say kind of close to this stuff, but it might be somewhere close to this stuff, so that I can wrap it in fused quartz and then start generating some power. Now, the next quest it wants me to do is these 4 thorium fuel rods, simply because those things will run, and I can get lutetium out of it to make americium when we get to the fusion reactor. So I'll need to do some of that. I may just start a breeder reactor and then I may go through this whole mess a second time and get a second one so that I can run some quad rod uranium through it in order to actually generate power. So I'll play around with those, figure something out to do with those. However, the next quest that I'm wanting to complete is to get my radon done. Now, the radon relies on these guys, so I'm slowly breeding up Reactoria. Well, it doesn't rely on them. I prefer to quadruple my ore by using the Reactoria and uranium leaves, so I will be doing that soon. And as you can hear, the birds are now awake. It is the next day. So yeah, I'll start working on stuff like that, and I will see you guys in the next video. Till then.